All right, let's get right into it. We're seeing this massive shift in how software gets made. It's not just about us using AI tools anymore. It's about autonomous AI agents becoming actual members of our dev teams. But, managing a team of AIs, that's a whole new ballgame. So today, we're going to break down TurboFlow 4.0, a framework that's all about taming that AI swarm. Just think about this for a second. Put it in human terms. Imagine you've got a whole team of developers, but not a single one can remember what they decided yesterday. No one sees the big picture of the code. And worse, they're all trying to write to the exact same file at the exact same time. What do you get? You got it. It's a total mess. They forget why a certain decision was made, so they just do it all over again. They constantly step on each other's toes, which means merge conflicts from hell. And of course, they break stuff, a lot of stuff. It's just a recipe for disaster. Yeah, chaos is the perfect word for it. And that's pretty much been the state of play for these early AI agent teams. But that is exactly the problem TurboFlow version 4.0 was built to fix. And we're not talking about just a minor update here. This is a ground-up rebuild, designed to bring some serious order and professionalism to the whole process. So where do you start? Well, before you can build all of the cool new stuff, you gotta make sure your foundation is rock solid. And that's the first big move for TurboFlow 4.0, a huge architectural cleanup they're calling the Ruflo migration. It's all about consolidating the core of the system. And this table right here really tells the story. I mean, look at these numbers. Instead of messing around with 4 different core packages, it's now just one single all-in-one bundle. The setup process, it drops from a clunky 15 steps down to 10. And this last one, this is a game changer. The model routing, which is basically how the system picks the right AI for the job, is now totally automatic. And that automation leads to an estimated 75% cost savings. That's huge. Okay, so a clean foundation is great, right? But it doesn't actually solve those core problems we talked about, the forgetting, the conflicting, and that's where the real innovation in 4.0 kicks in. The framework introduces 3 brand new systems designed from the ground up to fill those exact gaps. And here they are. Let's call them the collaboration trio. These aren't just little features. They are the fundamental pillars that give an AI swarm what it needs to act like a real engineering team. We're talking about a shared memory, situational awareness of the code base, and crucially, their own space to work. First up, memory. This is the big one. How do you stop your AI agents from having amnesia between sessions? How do you make sure they remember why a critical decision was made last week? The answer is a new system called beads, which gives them a persistent cross-session memory. The key concept here is what the documentation calls institutional memory. Think of it like a shared project diary. It's something the entire AI team can read from and write to, making sure that crucial context is never ever lost. It survives reboots, new sessions, everything. And here's how it works, which is pretty clever. It stores all these key decisions in simple Git native files. So when an agent spins up, it can load that project history and understand not just what was done, but the why behind it. It even integrates with architecture decision records, or ADRs, so all the major changes are officially tracked and traceable. Okay, so now the agents can remember the past. Great. But what about understanding the present? How do you stop an agent from making one tiny change that accidentally brings down the entire application? Well, that brings us to the next piece of the puzzle, a system called GitNexus. You can basically think of GitNexus as giving the agents X-ray vision into your code. Before an agent writes a single line, it can check with GitNexus to get a full map of the repository. It understands all the dependencies, all the connections, the whole shebang. Now, the absolute killer feature here is something called blast radius detection. An agent can literally ask, hey, if I change this one function, what else am I going to break? It builds this incredible knowledge graph of the entire code base. And because it's natively integrated, agents can use it to avoid causing those awful, unintended side effects. So we've got memory of the past and awareness of the present. What's the last piece of this collaboration puzzle? Isolation. How on earth do you get multiple AI agents working on the same code at the same time without it turning into a complete circus of conflicts? The solution is actually pretty brilliant. It uses a built-in JIT feature called worktrees. The best way to think about it is like giving each AI agent its own private, soundproof office. Each one gets a totally clean, separate copy of the project to work in. No one else can interfere. And this strict isolation is what really unlocks true parallel work. It completely eliminates file conflicts. It even uses something called schema namespacing to keep their databases separate. And all of this enables the really cool concept of native agent teams, where you can have a manager agent, a builder agent, and a QA agent all working simultaneously, safely, without getting in each other's way. Now, having all these cool tools is one thing, but you still need a disciplined process. So TurboFlow 4.0 introduces what it calls mandatory quality gates. This is all about bringing some serious rigor and discipline to the AI swarm. Here's how it works. At every major stage of development, this two-step pipeline kicks in. First, AQ Generate unleashes this team of, get this, 58 specialized quality engineering agents. They do a super deep dive, looking for everything from security holes to gaps in testing. Then, AQ Gate takes that analysis and makes the final call. A simple, strict go or no go. And nothing moves forward without a go. And this right here, this is the core philosophy, plain and simple. It is a non-negotiable rule that's baked right into the workflow. It doesn't matter what it is, a tiny bug fix or a massive feature release. If it doesn't pass that quality gate, it does not ship, period. So when you put it all together, that simplified foundation, the collaboration trio of memory, awareness, and isolation, and those mandatory quality gates, what you get is a completely new way of building software. It's a fundamental shift away from unpredictable chaos and towards structured, reliable composition. This slide just sums it all up perfectly, doesn't it? On the left, that's the old way. A single agent working alone, constantly forgetting things, causing conflicts, just messy. But on the right, that's the new reality with 4.0. You have a parallel swarm of agents, a professional team with persistent memory, their own safe workspaces, and a strict quality process guiding everything they do. And at the end of the day, this is why all of this matters. The goal here is nothing less than to professionalize the entire field of AI-driven software development. It's about taking these incredibly powerful but sometimes unpredictable AI agents and turning them into a reliable, predictable, and truly collaborative engineering team. Which, of course, leaves us with a pretty massive question. By finally giving AI agents memory, awareness, isolation, and discipline, have we finally cracked the code? Is this a real glimpse into the future of how all software is going to be built? That's definitely something to think about.